Hello all, and welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribe-Lite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your Zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skep Tock.
I'm Prospero.
Cassie. And I'm Delahazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions, and special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
So, if you're not at work today or you're working from home, you may be wondering, what day is it? Todd has the answer for us.
It's Monday.
Let's be xenophobic. It's really in this year. Let's find a nasty, slimy, ugly alien to fear. There's no more cutesy stories about E.T. phoning home. Let's learn to love our neighbors like the Christians learned in Rome. We know we ought to hate them. They're different, you see. We've seen they're mean and ugly on movies and TV. The folks that ought to know have told us how it's got to be. The gospel truth is found in scenes from Alien and V. Let's wipe out any life form that seems to be a threat. We'll serve them up a genocide they never will forget. 'Cause if we miss a couple, they'll breed a couple more. And soon we'll all be hating twice as many as before. You see, aliens can never be as good as humankind. A more delightful race than us you'll never ever find. So step aside, you star slime, we're ready for your worst. We know you want to beat us, enslave us and defeat us, oppress us and browbeat us, unless we get you first.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the zoo. I'm your Zookeeper Night Inquisitor. Minions joining me are Mr. Adam.
Hello.
Of Clan the Veggie the First. And
Yeah, this was Adam's fine.
and Eeyore.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello. So I'm, regardless of the fact that I have my Onager Dune Crawler here, I'm not going to be painting that, and that's the reason why I didn't do the battle hymn of the Omnissiah when we started here. I'm going to be painting some Eldar, as the title suggests, because the Codex just came out, and I kind of want to play this army.
Sweet. Codex Cypress hit me too.
Yep. It's pretty awesome, not gonna lie. The Eldar are pretty awesome. My problem is that I just realized it when I was sitting in bed thinking about it earlier. I'm like, I have a problem now because I have 4 elites choices and only 1 heavy support. They changed
because
Wraith
of your
Lords.
knights.
No, they changed Wraith Lords to elites.
Right, lords, not knights.
Well, I want a Wraith Knight too, but you know. But yeah, no, the Wraith Lords are elites now instead of heavy support. So now I'm sitting here going like, do I want to get some Night Spinners? Because Night Spinners have something that I don't really have a whole lot of in the rest of my army, which is artillery.
Knight Spinners, if I remember right, are incredibly potent artillery too.
There's strength 7 minus 2 AP, either minus 2 or minus 1. I can't remember in my codexes. Past Jake and
At least 2.
Yeah, and well, no, I think at least 1, maybe 2. And then also they have 2 damage.
2d6 shots, if I remember right, and blast.
Yup. Meaning they are quite nasty and can take down Marines with impunity. So, which is what I'm considering doing for the heavy supports for me. And I will say this though, I am super happy with what they did to the Falcon.
Yeah, I looked over its profile. All Eldar things really got exactly what they needed.
Yeah. And I say the major thing is having that Falcon means that I can deep strike in some Howling Banshees first turn directly in the enemy's face. And since I play Samhain, I can drop them directly in your face, and there's nothing you can do about it because I get to reroll my charge rolls.
That's my negatives to enemy charges when I need them.
Oh, you think? You think that? Because there's stratagems that allow me to completely ignore charge modifiers.
God damn it.
Yeah, no, Eldar are nasty as fuck. They are nasty. If you know what you're doing, or if you're planning for it, you can do some amazing shit with them.
At a melee Eldar, I'm actually more interested in striking scorpions right now. They appear to be mortal wound generators.
They are, but at the same time, they're not very good mortal wound generators. If you want to go like the full gambit, is taking Jane Czar with Howling Banshees. Because Jane Czar has essentially both an Executioner and Mirror Swords. So you can get to 12 attacks with Mirror Swords. And then you do that with your Exarch as well.
That's a lot of power sword attacks.
Yes.
Well, They're not quite power sword, but
Yeah, they are. They're power swords, just that they're in the hands of a strength 3 model, not strength 4 model.
I thought mirror swords were, in exchange for the double attacks, slightly weaker.
Well, they're power swords. You're thinking of the Executioner. The Executioner is, I think, D3 damage. You can get it up, or no, sorry, it's flat 2 damage. You can get it up to 3 damage if you take lunging strikes, Exarch power. And that's the thing too, is that if you have like a melee Exarch, you can you automatically increase their attacks by 1 just by giving them an Exarch power. So it's not a bad idea just to give any one of them an Exarch power, even if you're going for like, you know, minimum point cost and going for one of the worse ones. It's fine so long as you do that because you get an extra attack.
Though for melee Eldar, unfortunately combining the codexes gave them some pretty heavy competition.
What, with
troops?
Oh, for troops? Well, nah.
No, troop.
Oh, like you mean Harlequin troop?
Yes.
Nah. I'd rather have aspects. But to be fair, also, with that, if you take Harlequins in a detachment that's not Harlequin only, they don't get access to a mask.
Wait, they work exactly like Tempestus?
Yes.
You're dead serious?
Yes. But that's fine, because then you can take them in their own detachment. That's fine.
Yes, in a patrol specifically, and not break monofaction with Eldar or Drakari.
Well, you don't break monofaction at all. You would if you take Dark Eldar. The problem with that, though, is if you play Ynnari, you can take Dark Eldar just in the same detachment. You don't have to go for a different detachment.
Yes.
It's just that playing Ynnari does limit what you can take. Namely, you can't take any Homunculus Coven stuff.
Because the homunculi hate you need. Though it's understandable, Need would sort of finish their business.
Well, Need is all about death and, like, you know, beyond the veil, whereas the homunculi, you know, kind of, you know, make their bread and butter by extending sensation while not killing things.
That and keeping more powerful Dark Eldar alive through resurrection.
Hello and good night, AC. She also said that the chat isn't in the box.
Oh,
because it's off with Keister.
Yeah, no, it is. Oh, you mean it? Okay, it's outside of the box, meaning yeah. Okay. Well, it's overlap because it's hard to see it if I get it all inside the box, if that makes sense.
What I meant by not breaking monofaction is Harlequins have a special rule if you take them in a patrol with Craftworld or Drakari. They do not break monofaction for either.
Yeah, but they don't get access to their own specific abilities.
And they're on patrol, they do.
Oh yeah, in their own patrol they do, or their own battalion if you have that many.
That's the a patrol specifically is the rule I'm referencing.
Okay. I mean, you wouldn't want to take that many Harlequin models by itself anyway, because Harlequins really do have rely on other armies to pull some of the weight that they lack.
I could see it doing full Harleys, but that was when they had their entire codex. I don't know how much support they have as basically Tempestus.
Well, even then, back when they had, a lot of their own rules, they still didn't have things like dedicated tank killers or any of that kind of stuff.
That Weaver gunship was pretty good. Also, the bikes with haywire weapons.
The haywire is surprisingly decent, but you're not gonna overwhelm your opponent with the haywire cannons.
True, 1 and 2 I was talking about in 8. The haywire weapon took a hit.
Yeah.
Not to mention that heavy support thing can now be taken in squads of 3, and its default weapon is a strength 12 weapon, so...
Yeah. I don't know, for me though, I've kind of ignored a lot of the other stuff. I'm interested in the Corsairs, but I haven't really looked at them too deeply. And the Harlequins either. The major thing for me though, with all that, is I'm looking at going mono-faction Eldar. Just Craft World. Only going Craft World. Because I want to focus in on the stuff that I find fun. Like Night Spinners. I was thinking about maybe getting Fire Prisms. SCP has a Fire Prism that he still has, and he was gonna consider selling me it for pennies on the dollar. My problem is though is that it's an old one, so I'd need to worry about the fact that it's plastic and pewter, and also Fire Prisms work best with at least 2 of them.
Relying on that little stratagem.
Yep. You don't lose any shots by link fire, but you definitely increase the effectiveness of them. You turn them into essentially a hammerhead for a turn for 2 CP. Well, better than a hammerhead, actually.
Combine it with vectored engines, and you can shoot and fade with the phasm that's exposed.
To be fair, too, you don't even need to buy vectored engines. There's a fire and fade stratagem.
Ew, stratagem. CP is more valuable than points, sorry.
I don't know about that.
It's 10 bloody points. What are you going to use them on?
Well,
oh, wait.
Shuriken cannons? Oh, new glasses. Cool. 2 pair. Nice. Okay. Safety glasses. Okay. That one for work. Mm-hmm. A little bit more heavy duty. And my roommate just came home and had to get new glasses, so he was showing me his new glasses.
What's up, Bug?
I don't think he can hear you. Adam said, "Hey, what's up?"
What's up, Adam?
This is interesting because painting this guy, or this girl here in particular, the autarch, is going to set essentially how I'm going to paint all of my guardians as well. Because I'm going to use the actual color scheme for the aspect shrines, rather than painting them like, uniform with the army. So like the aspect warriors for Howling Banshees, I'm going to be painting white, Dire Avengers blue. which is also the thing here. I've got the warp spider jump generator right here. I'm going to be painting, since it's just the warp jump generator, I'm going to be painting the rune here on the back red, but all of the actual warp jump generator is going to be black, because that's what color the warp spider's jump generator is supposed to be. So that's just an example.
A lovely example.
I like warp spiders. They're like the hidden gem, in my opinion, in the codex.
I mean, in the 9th Codex, in addition to getting battle focus 2d6 inches, can't they also move through things as if they weren't there?
Yes. Not only that, I believe there's an Exarch power or a stratagem. I can't remember which. But when you use your battle focus, you get +1 on the die roll. Meaning, now here's the Achilles heel of the warp jump generator. When you use your battle focus, if you roll double 1s, you take a mortal wound. But if you have that Exarch power, you physically can't roll double 1s.
Well,
it doesn't say on the die.
It says on a battle focus roll of 2.
It says on a battle focus roll of 2.
Well done.
So it's a way to fuck around and find out. I don't know if people abuse that. I'm sure it'll probably change. But yeah, that's as the rule currently stands.
Do a pair of unmodified ones.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's my new one. I want to use up all of my old Pushabti bone. I'm going to be painting the cloak here, Pushabti bone. And then I'm thinking I'm probably going to go actual, like, stark white, but I'm going to be using my white ink for the Banshee mask.
I do really like the fact that Wraith Lords became elites.
I like it too, kind of, but my problem is that now I have no heavy supports. I mean, what a problem to have, right? But still.
Okay. When you have the Fire Prism, the Night Falcon, the War Walker.
Night Spinner and the Falcon, yeah.
And then there's the support weapons. I don't think it's a problem I think it's a problem you would enjoy having.
Yes.
Rather than not.
Yes. Speaking of, I have a Wraith Lord right here. No arms currently because I've got a shuriken cannon slung like he's holding a rifle, and that needs to be painted as well. Yeah, I have a new plastic Wraith Lord and an old pewter Wraith Lord.
Yes. More Wraith Constructs.
I also have a Wraith Seer. Or no, sorry, not a Wraith Seer, but because that's a Forge World model. Holy shit. Spirit Seer.
Yes, the babysitter for these undead creatures.
The only thing that's it kind of sucks is that the Wraith Seer is best in an Eondin craft world. But that aside,
well, that's because Eondin is a dead craft world.
Well, it's kind of dead. It's mostly dead.
I wonder how many people don't even understand where we're talking.
Okay, so all of the Eldar, the models that I'm currently painting, right? They all come from these massive planet, like continent-sized contained planets called craft worlds. And these craft worlds, some of them have different sort of traditions. When the Eldar left their planets behind and went onto these craft worlds, they decided to hold on to their own specific sort of traditions and sort of stuff like that. But one of them, called Eondin, was besieged by the Tyranids as soon as the Tyranids sort of showed up in the galaxy, and ate a lot of the population. However, they did not take the craft world, so they were able to save the soul stones of all of the slain Eldar, and so therefore most of the craft world is inhabited by Wraith Constructs.
A Wraith Construct being what happens when a Spirit Stone is placed into a Wraith Bone constructed body, creating an undead warrior.
Pretty much, yeah. They're designed purely for war. Basically, think of Dreadnought, only for the Eldar. In fact, actually, before they were called Wraith Lords, that was literally what they were called. Eldar Dreadnoughts.
Despite the fact that instead of heavily wounded, the Eldar's already dead. Mm-hmm. In most cases, a Wraith Knight actually does have a pilot.
Oh, Wraith Knight is still a Wraith Construct and still powered by Spirit Stones. It's just that it's meh.
Typically, it's piloted by a twin pair, one in Infinity Stone and the other still living.
Yeah. And you mean Infinity Circuit?
I said Infinity Stone, didn't I?
Yes.
Spirit Stone.
Spirit Stone and Infinity Circuit, yes.
Power Stone.
Power Stone, there you go. It's a fun game.
And the reason for the Spirit Stones is, well, in the warp there's someone who wants Eldar booty.
Oh yes. She who thirsts for the Eldar.
Not a fate any Eldar wants to suffer.
Nope. If the Dark Eldar like torture, then, you know, don't even want to know what Slaanesh is up to.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Considering kind of goes off of the subject. So recently I've been seeing a lot of poo-pooing on that Eldar ring.
You've been seeing
and people upset about making it easy. You know, you're seeing a lot of that shit spring up again.
Because Elden Ring belongs to the Dark Souls genre, the fact that it's actually approachable to normie players makes a lot of the tryhards whiny.
Well, it's weird because it's like, you know, I see a lot of game journalists say it, so I can't really, I don't take their opinion with any grain of salt or anything, you know.
Fuck them.
Yeah. But I did see somebody had posted an image of, you know, somebody was like, I'm tired of seeing get good. You know, games are supposed to be enjoyable and relaxing and all that shit. And the person who posted the image, he retweeted whatever, he goes, you know, don't play the game, play a different game, you know. And I was seeing it, I was like, you know, it's kind of weird because it's like, I'm pretty sure that there's like you just said, Eeyore, there's a lot of people who pick the game up because it is the game that came out, you know, and everybody's talking about it. So I guess just like your codex, right? You know, are you gonna pick up the codex because it's, you know, it's all out, it's the hot new item, right?
Well, I play the army, so
well, yeah.
I can see people picking up the army though because it is powerful.
Yeah, but I mean, now imagine somebody picking up the army and being completely lost and then expecting the game to alter to cater to that person. Yeah. It's pretty much what I'm seeing there, but I see like kind of where Eeyore was coming at, where it's the snobby gamers who are like, nah, man, you got to get good. You got to learn every intricate thing about this game. Otherwise, you're just what is it, fair weather fan or whatever shit. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, I don't know, man. I think if you're even coming to that question or coming to the idea of, I want to experience it, but, I want it to be easier. I think the question you have to ask yourself, are you really interested in that game? Because when I see Get Good, yeah, it's cringy. And, coming from a snobby gamer guy, probably is annoying, and it's underhanded. But, like, to me, Get Good just means, like, if I really like the game, I'm going to want to get better at it.
Yeah.
I think
to improve, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the point, like, but you have to be interested. And Kokonoe, butchered your name. He's part of the group that plays Blaze Blue with me.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when I first started playing, I was horrible, but I was interested in it enough to keep going back and playing. And just like when me and you were playing Alpha, I told you not to hold back. Don't dumb it down for me, because otherwise I'm not going to learn anything. And I enjoy fighting games.
Or get better, yeah.
Or get better at it. Yeah. And so now when we have our Blaze Blue fights, they're fucking awesome. They're fun as shit. Because I figured out how to play. I'm still horrible at it, but it's like, but it's drawn me in enough to want to play. And I'm sure with like Dark or Elden Rings, I'm sure I could probably get into it, but it doesn't really have that much of a draw for me. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be another Metroid. I'm gonna be sitting there, have it on my system, and I'm never gonna play it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I've always been like curious about the Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, all those kinds of games, because I do like hack and slashes and I like RPGs and stuff like that. My whole problem with them is the same problem I have with Monster Hunter. I don't want to just play the same game over again when the new one comes out.
Yeah, I was actually seeing some people, I think, Stixhammer666 was saying something about he doesn't like whoever the writer is, the guy who did Game of Thrones, Martin Scorsese.
J.R.R. Martin
Scorsese.
And Dark Souls, he's like, I hate them both, and I was reading some of the comments on it, and some people were like, yeah, it looks like the same like weapon attack animation, and it doesn't look like a lot's changed, and I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of it's open world, so you kind of just go explore, and I'm like, I kind of would like some direction, at least I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
We've talked ad nauseum about that. I don't like make your own fun games. I don't.
Yeah.
Give me structure, and I'll be happy.
Yes. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like, I think if you're interested in the game, you'd want to be better at it, even if it's like a slight interest in it, because like I said, I've never played Blaze Blue game before. I liked how flashy it looked, and me, I like fighting games, so
yeah. Which is why I respected the shit out of the fact that you like that whole weekend when Sanguine came down to hang with us for 4th of July. You were playing Guilty Gear like a lot, simply just because I think that I got the impression from you, at least, that you were really interested in the game and you were having fun with it, even though everyone was beating you.
Yeah.
I will say this: you did improve since the first time that you played it, though.
Yeah, it's like I said, if certain games just get me, like Dark Stalkers, I would say Starkers, Dark Stalkers,
Dark Stackers.
Stackers. I have no interest to play it, but I know it's a Capcom game, and I know it came out around the same time as all the good copies of Street Fighter 2. So I know that I'm just like Alpha. I wasn't really that interested in it until I started playing with you, and now I find myself that's the game I pick instead of going straight to 3 when I open it. So I mean, it's like, yeah, you know, I think a lot of these people should just take a breath, ask yourself if you're just caught up in the whirlwind of the new game craze, or if it's you actually want to play it.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Yeah, do you actually want to play this game, or is it just something that you feel like you need to because everyone else is doing it?
Yeah, I mean, if I could easily see people getting caught up in it, because especially if you're on Twitter, you're seeing it bombarded all over the place with memes and shit. So it's like it's easy to understand, you know, getting you know, wanting to get the game because of that, but
wanting to join the bandwagon. Yeah, sure. And even then, I mean, it does look like a cool game. I've said it before that I've been interested in the Soulsborne games. It's just that I have the same problem with it that I have with Monster Hunter, is the fact that I don't want to play the game, get good at it, and then, you know, beat it and then put it down and have to play all over again the exact same game when the next one comes out. No thank you.
Not only that, but speaking of Monster Hunter, I think one of the things that gets me with Monster Hunter is it's like I'm constantly fighting, it seems like the same fucking monster over and over again. It's like I really don't want to keep going through this.
Well, it's fighting the same monster over and over again because all of the drops that you get from it are just insufficient to be able to get what you need and get it all built and then move on. You have to sit there and grind and farm and farm and grind and grind and farm and farm and grind. It's like,
and see,
fuck
the
off.
only real saving grace with that for me is that you can at least do it online, so you can at least have people playing alongside you. I don't know if Elden Rings is online, but
it is.
If it has co-op.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Pique my interest a little bit more then.
Okay.
Yeah, because honestly, that's one of those things where it's like, oh, dude, and you have to do this alone.
Now, see, I'm the exact opposite. I would prefer to do that shit alone. The problem is that Monster Hunter, it gets to a point where you can't continue alone.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, with Monster Hunter, I fucking I go the opposite. I try and get as much shit done online, so that way when I have to play alone to, you know, get further the story, I'm at least like equipped with some good gear from having playing online. Yeah, honestly, I think it's been a big indicator for me is if it has multiplayer. If it doesn't have online multiplayer, I really don't want to play it, I guess.
Okay. I mean, to each their own. My whole thing about multiplayer is multiplayer should be a thing where you do it because it's fun. It's not because it's something that you need to do. I mean,
no, yeah, I just enjoy being able to play online. Except fighters, for some reason, I don't play fighters. Well, I know why.
My whole thing for that too, I think my opinion of it is somewhat jaded, simply because I played World of Warcraft and MMOs and stuff like that. So that, I think, really jaded and changed my opinion of a lot of online games like that.
That's true. That's true.
Because if one thing in the world taught me how to hate, it was World of Warcraft.
See, I never really got into those.
You're talking about old World of Warcraft, yeah.
Well, I played the week of launch, okay, and I played all the way to Cataclysm. And let's put it this way:
shit.
When people talk about, World of Warcraft in particular, and they talk about their accomplishments and blah 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 blah, and I can get in on that too a little bit with you, Adam, because my opinion on a lot of the get good culture and the people that are whining and saying things need to be better and easier for me because we need accessibility. Go fuck yourself. You don't have the perspective of a 40-man raider from World of Warcraft. If you think that I'm gonna sit here and agree with you because you did a FedEx quest in fucking Burning Crusade and got the exact same breastplate that I had to kill fucking Nefarian to get, you can go eat shit and fucking die. Fuck you. I'm going even further than the get good. You don't deserve shit. Fuck you. Anyway,
you might be railing against power creep's effects on what gear should be easily accessible than general game accessibility.
Well, that was power creep because they wanted to level the playing field for everyone to access the new content. And in my opinion, no. If you didn't do 40-man raiding, you should struggle. You should struggle to do any of the new content. Fuck you.
Now, see, there's another angle to it. I mean, you got to think, because I even saw some people saying like, "Oh, these are the people who didn't grow up playing Nintendo games and because of their notorious difficulties or whatever." But I can see players who are, you use the dark. I was born in the dark. I can see those people being miffed that they alter it so that way, people can fly through it and be like, I beat the game. And it's like, well, I mean, you used Game Genie, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know. This is just kind of, I think it's a person-to-person thing, but when it gets so vocal, people just can't help but vomit their hot takes. It's like, come on, dude. Like, either you're getting it or you're not getting it. Why are you wasting my time?
Yeah.
You're at the other table over there. I'm trying to eat my lunch over here.
My actual view on it is any game should be accessible and completely playable to the average casual gamer. However, this should not be at the expense of the skill ceiling of any given game.
I'm not sure.
What I'm saying is any casual can get into the game, but the skill ceiling is so high that a top level player could wipe the floor with a casual.
Okay. I can kind of see where you're going with it, but my whole thing is not every person is built the same, especially when it comes to playing video games. And the problem is that catering to the idea of putting the lowest common denominator so low that the skill ceiling is going to seem insurmountable. Comparatively speaking, there should be some level of skill required to play any game, period.
And that's why I say the real, like I would say the strongest answer to these kinds of questions is like, well, then you have to take a step back and figure out if this game is something that you want to spend time on. I mean, chess is you can easily get into playing chess, but it's difficult to master, and that's the whole point. You could master it, or you could just, put the pieces wherever you want and call it, a different game, Stratego, right? So it's like, you gotta be able to do that. Otherwise, it does cheapen the experience a little. But I will say there are some games that do handle it kind of well. I was just thinking of Mortal Kombat. Now I can't say if it's still being played at like tournament levels, but Mortal Kombat 11. But there is options in there that you can do one hit special moves, one hit fatalities, one button fatalities, and so that way if you want to, I guess, experience Mortal Kombat, you can do so without learning the moves. But at the same end, I remember playing Mortal Kombat when it first came out, and the moves were ridiculous to try on the arcade. And that's not even talking about Primal Rage. Let's not even get to that.
Right.
But it's one of those things where it's like, it did weed out the people who were just casually going up to, ooh, fighting game, let me button mash, to the people who are like, they figured out how to do the moves, and then when they were doing the fatality at the arcade, it's like, holy shit. And that's kind of the draw with it too, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like if you had cheapened it, you wouldn't have that awe-inspiring atmosphere with these types of games. Like, holy shit, yeah, you did beat Mike Tyson in Punch-Out. Oh.
Yeah. I think the major thing for that too is the fact that the accomplishment of doing those sorts of things are what people want. They want the accolades and the sense of accomplishment, but they know that they need to put in the work and they don't want to.
That, and I think the worst ones that I've seen are the people who have no problem just button skipping a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if she was goofing. I hope she was goofing. She goofs a lot about it. This lady on Twitter talks a lot about classic DOS games and shit. Mm-hmm. And she goes, I want a boss mode where I can hit the button and skip it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, and she was putting on, like, if she was goofing, hey, that's some Andy Kaufman shit. But she was hell bent, like, no, I if I don't want to fight a boss, I should just be able to skip it. And then you could just hear well, why don't you just watch a Let's Play? You know, why don't you just watch somebody play it? Well, no, she wants to have the controller in her hand, and it's like an interactive movie. And honestly, I don't know what to say to that. That's just one of those things where it's like, well, you want something that's really fucking strange. So
yeah, I don't know. It's for people like that. I don't know. It's you know, why don't you just watch a movie?
Yeah, what is the gratification of pressing the button and moving the character? Like, why don't you just, I guess because you're getting to the next location. I don't know, but that seems boring to me. But again, that's me. You know, there's people who enjoy Minecraft. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Well, not to shame anyone who plays Minecraft, even though I would say that as well. But yeah.
No, I am. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you about.
Now. Minecraft is actually an ideal example of the type of game I'm referring to.
Well, like I said, I agree with Adam on that one, unfortunately.
Well, that's what I mean. You have to enjoy that. Like Fortnite, fuck no, dude. I can't. Or any game like Overwatch where you have to pick a specific. No, I didn't like it in Team Fortress Classic. I don't like it now. I don't fucking do that shit. The only one I would do is Day of Defeat, but that's only because they don't force you into it. You can pick whichever one you want to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally thought that was kind of fun with the Battlefield games, Battlefield 1942 and then Battlefield Vietnam, is choosing the different sort of like soldier specialties, the MOS.
Oh yeah,
like that was fun.
But I don't think they forced them on you. I think they might have had a limit. I know Day of Defeat might have had a limit for some of them.
No, they did force it. You had to choose like your class, whatever you wanted to be, like when you were spawning in.
Yeah, but you can pick just a rifleman.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like Overwatch. They pretty much, you have to be like, if somebody's already filling this role, you can't.
Really?
You can't pick it.
I thought you could have duplicates in Overwatch.
Maybe, I can't remember, but I know that that's the type of gameplay that those are like.
Yeah.
And hey, you know, people like them. Go play them. More power to you. But
yeah. I say that this comes down to the crux of the argument, and the reason why our opinions are the way that they are, Adam, is the fact that all of these games are for someone's specific tastes, and guess what? It's not mine. So you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to complain about the game and want it to change to cater to my interests. I'll play another game.
Yeah.
It is literally that simple.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to sit here and demand that Minecraft change so that it has a story and, like, a linear progression. I'll just
if
play
you
a
wa-
different game.
Well, I was seeing places where I don't know if it's 100% what happened. Don't quote me on this, but I think they tried to contact the creator of Elden Rings, and he was pretty much like, nah, the difficulty's part of the game, you know.
But didn't they say that back with Dark Souls 2, and that was the big like hot button issue, is they contacted the creator of Dark Souls and said, give us a lower difficulty, and he said no.
I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's just it kind of goes right back.
Why did they think they were going to get a different response for Elden Ring?
Because they're insane.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, but that's what I think. It's like a flash fire, Chicago fire, right? I think a lot of journalists were reporting on it, and some big name streamers or celeb people were mirroring it, you know, saying like, oh man, yeah, maybe they should make it easier to allow more people to play. Isn't that more what they want? More money? And I think a lot of people just mimic it and just repeat it because they see somebody else saying it. So they're like, yeah, it should be easy. It's like, shut up. You weren't gonna fucking play.
You don't give a shit. You have literally no dogs in this race.
In Elden Ring's specific case, no, the difficulty does not need to be lowered. Due to the fact that games in that genre are branded as difficult, high barrier of entry games. And to change that would be such a break that there'd be no trust going forward.
Yeah, it's a major violation of the core concept of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you make a Tom Clancy game and you don't make it super tactical and shit.
Tactical stealth shooter, yeah.
Well, because like Siege was, well, it had stealth. Man, that game was fucking awesome.
Yeah, so you're talking about Rainbow Six, right?
Oh yeah.
See, I never played any of the Rainbow Sixes, but I will echo you about Tom Clancy though, because I absolutely adored Splinter Cell. Every Splinter Cell I ever played, I fucking loved.
Now, if they took away the Tom Clancy element, would it be a Tom Clancy game? I mean, that's essentially what it boils down to.
No.
Look at Command & Conquer 4, I think, where they had the mobile the walking buildings. That game was horrible. And it ruins the trust of the game company. So, I mean, shit.
Was that one actually made by Westwood, or was that after Westwood had gone under?
I think it was the dying throes of it.
Okay.
Because I think it was a lot of the original team started moving towards Petroglyph, and EA had acquired them, but they weren't fully, like, it was still some of the core guys, if I remember correctly. You know, I say this though about, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it type of thing. But here I am playing fucking Nintendo games, and those motherfuckers change shit all the time.
Yeah, well.
But somehow that works.
Well, I wouldn't say it always.
Sometimes. I was trying out this Kirby demo, and I kind of like it. I like how they're doing 3D platformer games.
Did you like half swallowing a car?
Yeah, so weird.
The only thing that I know about this Kirby game, because here we go, okay? I don't like Kirby, never have. I only own one Kirby game, and it's because I found it at a Half Price Books for $2, I think it was, and it was the very first Kirby game on Game Boy. It's the only Kirby game I own. So I don't like Kirby. I'm not a big Kirby guy. The major thing that I still love, like going back and rewatching it, is there's a VTuber named Inugami Korone. It's a Japanese girl, and she's really big into retro games. She plays a lot of retro games, and so she plays a lot of Nintendo games too. whether they be old or new. And she was watching the Nintendo Direct on a stream, and it got to the point where Kirby half swallowed the car, and then the car started driving, and she just started laughing as hard as she possibly could. Like, she couldn't breathe. She was laughing so hard at the imagery of Kirby half swallowing a car and then driving it around.
You see his little feet dangle behind him too.
It's so dumb looking.
Yeah, I've never really been a big Kirby fan either. I play it on the Nintendo because it's on the Switch NES shit. So from at lunch, I'll pop in, play a level or two.
Mm-hmm.
But this looked interesting, and I want to see how they handle semi-open world platformers, and it's pretty decent.
And Frosted Glass said Splinter Cell rocks. Of course, it's been 9 years since they made one. Yeah, and the last one they made, Splinter Cell Blacklist, they didn't have Michael Ironside as the voice of Sam Fisher either.
Damn.
That sucks. In my opinion, the last really great one was probably Splinter Cell Conviction. That one was so fucking fun. Oh my god, I love that game.
Oh shit, okay, I just thought of something, and I think you'll like this too, man, because it's equally it's a series that stayed the same, but when they broke the mold, it was really fucking cool, and it's coming back. Fucking House of the Dead.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, House of the Dead Overkill was fucking fantastic. I love that game. And it's coming back on the Switch, and I'm pretty sure some other systems, but on the Switch at least, it's coming April 7th, I think it is. Did you ever play House of the Dead?
Overkill? No.
Well, I think this is the first one that they're doing a remake.
Okay. Yeah, I have House of the Dead, I think 1 and 2. I think.
On Saturn?
I think.
Or Dreamcast?
Well, I have Typing of the Dead on Dreamcast. And I have the keyboard. I don't have the mouse, though. I don't have the mouse. I was able to play, back when when SegaNet still was a thing, I was able to play Quake 3 Arena on mouse and keyboard on my Dreamcast.
You could do that?
Oh, yeah. If you had the mouse and keyboard, yeah.
Damn.
It was great. The only problem was that the mouse was not optical. It was a ball mouse, so...
To take a swing out of left turn, I think a public service announcement is in order. Stock up on gas right now.
Oh, yeah, is it gonna...
From the Kyiv Independent, bipartisan bill introduced in the U.S. House of Reps to ban the import of Russian crude oil.
Yeah. Well, how much crude oil does America import from Russia? Not very much, right? I figured we get
it'll be enough to add $1 a gallon at least if the ban goes through.
It's already like over $3 a gallon.
Yeah, I paid $4.19 today.
I paid $40 to fill up my fucking Mini Cooper last time I filled it up. I'm lucky in the fact that I don't really go very far for work or go very far to do anything over the weekends, so I haven't needed to fill up my car in like weeks. Still, $40 to fill up a Mini Cooper is retarded.
It's gonna get worse if this ban goes through.
Oh, it's pretty bad. But that's okay, because we gotta weather the storm to help Ukraine and freedom and democracy and shit.
Yeah. Well, I say if it gets to be that bad, there should be an open inquiry about going for American crude and not having to rely on OPEC and Russia for crude oil.
I mean, we were there at one point, but they, turned that switch off.
Right?
Well. Yeah. Isn't that lovely that you turn that switch off? Costing Canada 40,000 fucking jobs.
Yeah.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
I'm blaming your current administration.
Whoa, dude, come on. Come on now. He took out Corn Pop in the back alley of the schoolyard.
Who? What?
Joe Biden.
It was smoking weed with Corn Pop.
He was smoking weed with Corn Pop? Some dude he talking about. He's a bad dude.
How am I supposed to know? I don't have a Biden translator.
He just went off on this rant about knowing about racism because this dude named Corn Pop. And then he goes out to say, like, the little kids like to press his leg hair and see it shining. I don't know. He went off. What? And nobody stopped him.
Creepy, sleepy Uncle Joe.
Oh, but wait, so I take it you didn't see the State of the Union?
No.
Oh my god.
I turned off of it the moment I realized Biden was just trying to save his polling numbers.
If you were playing a drinking game with it, oh my god. You had to stop midway through.
It was effectively Biden does a poor imitation of Trump to try and save his polling numbers. And I'm sorry, but this petrol ban, the incumbent party's going to be blamed. And he could lose 2 more senators over it, probably.
Yeah, if they're not declining to rerun or resigning.
Senators have been okay. It's actually around average for senators. Reps are very high right now. Yeah.
Very high? What, did they go and hang out with Corn Pop?
No, the amount of senators not seeking re-election.
Come on,
the
man.
amount of reps not seeking re-election.
Yeah, I got it mixed up. My bad. Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I'm gonna say there's part of me that wants to be a hard ass about that kind of stuff and say that representatives should have term limits as well, as strict or even stricter than the president. Mainly because you shouldn't have someone who goes into politics for a career. They should go in it and go into politics as a civil service.
Like it used to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, from Reconstruction onward, it wasn't really seen that way anymore.
Well, there was a lot of things that kind of changed America irrevocably in bad directions in post-Civil War.
Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah.
What? No. He was a great president.
Fuck you.
Come on.
He is the only...
Who hasn't shown a Birth of a New Nation in the White House? Or Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, he had a showing in the White House.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. He is the only truly confirmed Ku Klux Klan supporting president. And we're not talking about the stupid yokels from the 60s. We're talking about the lynchings and the bombers of Reconstruction and into the early 20th century.
Yep. Ain't history fun?
Oh, yeah. And then there's the fact that Wilson probably had one of the worst second terms out of any president. Basically compromised on everything to get his League of Nations through at Versailles, directly causing the Second World War. Then America couldn't join the League of Nations because it didn't have proper support. He had a stroke and his wife served the last two years effectively.
Kind of like Ronald Reagan. kind of like Joe Biden.
Okay, I will admit Reagan got a little loopy in his second term.
Well, I mean, a gunshot doesn't help.
The funniest bit about Ronald Reagan and the whole things about the gunshots and all that kind of stuff, the assassination attempts, is there was a bit, I can't remember what he was giving a speech for, but he was giving a speech and someone popped a balloon or something like that, like a balloon popped. And it was loud enough to be picked up over the speaker that he was giving the address to, and he just stops in mid-speech and goes, "Missed." This is coming from someone who doesn't really like Ronald Reagan as a president very much either, but that was good.
Yeah. Regardless of whether or not you like the president, whenever they act like a badass, you gotta respect it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of badass, Frosted Glass just said, tell Quiz I just DM'd him a transcript of the Corn Pop speech in Discord.
Let me get my phone.
They really want you to read it.
I guess. All right, hang on.
The Ballad of Corn Pop.
Are we about to hear Quiz's Biden impression?
I don't really know what Biden sounds like.
There's an animation of it too. If you could find it on YouTube, and it's, oh my god.
Corn Pop monologue. I learned a lot, and I learned that it makes a difference. This is the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and they weren't allowed to. It was a 3-meter board, and if you fell off sideways and you landed on the damn cement over there, and Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran with a bunch of bad boys. I did, and back in those days, to show how things have changed. One of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a baby cap. And so he was up on the board and wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you, off the board, you, or I'll come up there and drag you off." Well, he came off and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these are all public housing behind us. My car, there was a gate on here, and I parked my car outside of the gate, and he said, "I'll be waiting for you." He was waiting for me with 3 guys with straight razors. Not a joke. There was a guy named Bill Wright Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools, and he was a mechanic. And I said, "What am I gonna do?" And he said, "Come down here in the basement where all the mechanics, where all the pool builder is, and you know the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end, and he cut off a 6-foot length of the chain, folded up, and he said, you walk out there with that chain, you walk to your car and say, 'You may cut me, man, but I'm gonna wrap this chain around your head.'" I said, "You're kidding me." He said, "No, if you don't come back." And he was right. I walked out with the chain, I walked up to my car, and in those days, you remember the straight razors, you had to bang them on the curb, getting them rusty, putting them in the rain barrel, getting them rusty. And I was looking at him and I said, but I was smart, and then I said, first of all, I said, When I tell you to get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again. But you shouldn't have called you Esther. But I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams, and I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was gonna work. He said, "You apologize to me?" I said, "I apologize, but not for throwing you out. But I apologize for what I said." He said, "Okay." He closed the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again. What?
What? It sounds like the ramblings of an 80-year-old man.
I'm pretty sure that's because it was the ramblings. Was Esther a bad name? I don't know. Hey, Fester.
No, hold on. Because I know that name. Hold on. Yeah,
Like a character?
Esther Williams is a swimmer, an Olympian swimmer, I think.
And he apologized for calling him an Olympian. Wait a minute, is he a black guy? Oh no.
Yeah, I think Corn Pop is a black guy, and Esther Williams is a woman.
Oh no. Oh, okay, I get it. He called him a woman, and so.
Call a spade a spade.
Oh, hey, she was born on the same day as me.
Cool.
August 8th. But she was born in 1921.
Ooh. She probably had a hairy bush.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't need to know that.
Well, they all do if they're, born that long ago,
You know, doing the Charleston shit.
My Warpstone Glow. I want to see what this looks like, because I've got a couple of these gemstones on the outside of the warp jump generator, and I want to see what they look like in Warpstone Green. But I just realized also it's 8:20, so we may have to call it here soon, but I want to do this here first. See what this looks like. That'd be interesting to get my Autark and my Farseer Skyrunner done soon. Because I have a feeling that those two are going to be my main two HQs for my Eldar going forward.
That's right. Esther did have to wear 2 swim caps. People got tired of seeing the hairy wake.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Her legs kept getting tangled. Eventually, she just started swimming like a mermaid. Good old Esther Williams. She beat the Ruskies in '72. Wait, no. I was gonna say the Nazis in Diggity Doo.
I was gonna say, if she was born in the 20s, I would figure it would probably be the Nazis that she beat. But America didn't go to the Berlin Olympics, did they?
Yeah, isn't that when
the 1934? Yeah.
Yeah, when what's his name? Oh shit, Esther Williams has filled my name grab location.
You mean Adolf Hitler? Are you struggling to remember Adolf Hitler there, Adam?
No, he was a runner.
Oh, okay.
I think. Oh shit.
I know who you're talking about.
Fucking Esther Williams and her cooter hair, man.
God damn it, Adam. I think that looks pretty good. It's a Warpstone green, or Warpstone Glow is this green, and I think it looks pretty good over the black and mixes well with the red. I think I'm going to paint all of the gemstones that green, but we will see. I'm going to keep working on these guys and hopefully get them done by the weekend, because I want to get some games in, namely with my AdMech and my Eldar. But yeah, I think it's about time we call it. It's 8:20, so we need to go start getting to bed. I will talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for coming out to the minions, watching some paint dry. I've been Inquisitor, we've been your minions. Yeah, be sure to watch tomorrow where Skep is the host, and hopefully you won't get a corn pop speech from him. And yeah. Take care, everyone. The zoo is closed.
Good night.